I'm Alana Cerrone O'Hare.
And I'm Nick Millard.
Welcome to PVD POV, where we bring you new insights into the coolest little city in the smallest state.
Whether you're local looking to uncover hidden gems or visitor eager to dive in our vibrant culture, we've got you covered.
Each week, we'll be chatting with the movers and shakers here in Providence, from restaurant owners to hoteliers and everyone in between.
And today on the episode, we sat down and chatted with Eric Weiner. He is the owner and operator of Food Trucks Inn. He is Providence Food Truck Events is the one that he runs everything out of. But we sat and chatted with him about all things food trucks, where he started.
Exactly. And 12th season for him. And the thing about food trucks that I love, okay, there's a lot of things that I love, but like when it's food truck season, food truck season means it's getting nicer out.
Yes.
And so we were really especially excited to have him on our podcast. And we talked about everything to expect this season, some new things, like a really cool pass.
Oh, the pass was awesome. You guys are going to enjoy the pass. I'm so excited for the pass, and most of our staff is too.
Yes, it will probably be the biggest customers. If you're looking for a different way to experience food trucks, the pass is a wonderful option. And then, of course, we talk about what he is doing for the Providence Culinary Collective, one of our most unique events of the weekend coming up end of March.
And it's free. Remember, it's
and
free.
It's free.
Both of them are free.
Something for everyone. You can bring the family. So turn us up and get ready to experience Providence from a whole new perspective.
Cool. Okay.
Welcome back to PVD POV. We are so excited because it's feeling like spring. And speaking of spring and warm weather, we've got Eric from PVD Food Truck Events here to talk about the upcoming season. We're all ready for it. Thanks so much for
more
joining
than ready
us.
for it at this
We're
point.
more
With this
than ready.
Cold season,
I know.
we're more than ready for it. But welcome to the podcast. Thank you for coming. Food trucks.
Yeah.
What kind of got you started into doing, like, where did this come from, food trucks?
I mean, we're sitting in this amazing environment inside the place that is absolutely 100% specifically responsible.
And where would that be?
So we're at Johnson & Wales University doing this recording, which is, and I can't tell this story without a throw out to my good friend Ken DeSaya, who's still a good friend after all these years, who was an admissions rep when I was in high school in New Jersey, who gave me a DECA scholarship that brought me to Providence. And when I got to Providence and Johnson & Wales, the summer between my freshman and sophomore year, I started a limousine company with one used limousine. The limousine cost $16,000. The mobile phone cost $2,000, which was the only mobile phone on campus. So when I was sitting in a classroom and it would ring, it was either loud or louder. There was no vibrator or soft. And that business that I ran for 20 years after I sold it in 2010 kind of left me in a position to know that I wanted to do stuff with small business. I wanted to do stuff in Providence. I wanted to do some consulting. And I started to look at the food truck scene that was going on in LA and Austin. And there were 3 or 4 food trucks in Providence. And it just organically felt like the next thing for me. And the truth is, the event side of it was never part of the plan. The idea was to run our parent company, foodtrucksin.com, which is a national directory of food trucks. The zoo reached out to us and asked us if we'd consider doing something at Roger Williams Park in the carousel. And, just the same way the limousine company grew from 1 car to 20 when I sold it, the food truck involvement has grown from kind of like this website to this small event of 6 trucks to, now having over 1,000 opportunities for food trucks over the course of the season.
That is
great.
Such a Rhode Island dream story.
It is such a
I love it. Came to Rhode Island for college. Johnson & Wales, of course, involved food, entrepreneurship, small business.
There we go.
Right? It's everything. It's all the good things.
Before we get to the Culinary Collective, tell people what they can expect this year.
Yeah, so we've got a model that we're super proud of that continues to grow. We basically combine bringing the community out to like what we call, kind of our own town square. People can show up. It's free to attend our events. We'll have between 12 and 20 food trucks at every event. We always have live music. We always have local beverages. Most of the time it's from our friends at Good Vibes Beverages. And we try to create a community where people can kind of come out and hang out for 2 to 3 hours and enjoy the time with friends and family and making new friends and having a great night out.
And I mean, I've been to the one at my favorite one is the one at the Rogers Park. That's great. It is always packed there. It's just a great place to hang out in the summer. You get the park, you walk all around, and then you can come get food, and then you can go walk around again.
Bring the kids, and it's free. I mean, until you buy the food, but it's free to go. Who doesn't love that?
Yeah, I mean, that event is what really started the event division of our company. This will be our 12th year at Roger Williams Park doing Food Truck Friday. Our website that kind of came before the food truck events, foodtrucksin.com, continues to be a listing of over 10,000 food trucks across the country. And way back in 2015 now, the CEO of the zoo at the time asked us if we wanted to do a little food truck night, and we tried it with 6 trucks on a May night in 2015. And people said, "When will you be back?" We said, "We'll probably do it a couple more times this summer." And they said, "Well, how about next week?" And that has literally turned into, 25 weeks in a row from mid-April through the end of September, and now into our 12th year. And what's really amazing about the sustainability of that event for me, which is, continues to be our flagship that all the other events have been built off of, is that every single week is completely the same and completely different. Yeah. And that really makes it enjoyable, I think, for us and the food trucks and for the attendees.
Do you see your regulars there like every week? Do you have somebody or a group of people that you just like know? It's like, oh yeah, they're here, they're good.
Yeah. So one of the things we created about 10 years ago after our second season is what is now called the Good Vibes Tribe, where the first 3 or 4 weeks of the season at all of our events, guests can purchase a limited edition reusable mug that can be used at the Good Vibes Beverages tent. And, we only sell 250 of them a year, but we have 250 guests that show up at least 80% of the time to Food Truck Friday. We have some people that will miss 1 week and come back the following week and say, "We're really sorry we missed a week this year." So we've really created a fun community of people that use it as a way to get out. And often we see a lot of those guests that come to Food Truck Friday kind of start to come some of the other events that are on different nights of the week if they can't make it, or at some of the other locations. So it's something that's really, yes, we've gotten really good at getting to see who the regulars are, and we're still always really impressed with how many people come out for the very first time or come out to eat at a food truck for the first time. It's still a growing community for us.
And are the food trucks rotating? Like each Friday will be some of the same, some different, some new, probably, right?
Yeah, one of the things that's amazing is that Providence and Rhode Island really has an amazing, robust, still growing food truck scene. So we see way more food trucks coming into the marketplace than leaving. So this year for 2026, we'll have a rotation of a total of about 75 different food trucks.
75, wow.
Yeah. So
well, that's because, I mean, I know we did mention the Providence one, but you have locations every week in multiple different places around the states. So
yeah.
I know like Warwick,
Lincoln. Yep.
Yeah. So Roger Williams Park is the only event that we'll do every single week from April to September. Come Memorial Day, we're adding our newest event, which will be a Food Truck Friday in Newport on Aquidneck Island. Ooh. That location will be announced very soon, but we're very excited. So on Friday nights, between those two events, we'll have 30 food trucks at the two events. So, as you mentioned earlier, each week there'll be kind of a rotation. 1 week you'll see a truck at one location, the next week at another. Some of the trucks are doing this part-time and may not be available certain Fridays, and they're also all still out booking their own events and private events, and they're available for special occasions. So the 75 trucks will rotate in and out depending on, where they're based out of, which events they're interested in, and how much availability they have, which is also fun because we do have a lot of customers that will say, hey, like we love the events and we love all the trucks, but one of the things we like to do is we like to follow the Rolling Italian because we know the owner. So whatever event he's going to be at, we're going to go to him. So we might see that customer sometimes in Cumberland. We might see that customer at Food Truck Friday. We might see that customer in Newport because, everyone kind of has their own vibe on how they want to come to the events and who they want to follow and see. And it's also true with the musicians. We have people that will follow, and we do that with the musicians as well. We like to rotate them between the events so that we can give these amazing local creators exposure around the state.
And I think that's so uniquely Rhode Island. Food trucks, yes, global. But Rhode Island, you were mentioning earlier about Rolling Italian, shout out to the Fiolas, North Providence. People have this, I think cooking is a love language, right? Especially with the Italian population, but all cultures. And so you have someone who loves to cook, cooks for their family, then maybe their friends and at parties. And then they say, you know what, I'm going to try this food business, and maybe a food truck seems a little bit easier than a brick and mortar, and they kind of get their feet wet in the business through a food truck. And it's such a cool way to see people who have other day jobs, and then this is their passion, and they start out with a food truck. And you probably see a lot of that happen in the industry.
Yeah, and we see it in a lot of different ways too, right? Like another way that you see that is also, someone that has complete confidence in what they're doing, but maybe they want to introduce a food or a culture that maybe isn't as well known, and they may not be ready to open a restaurant and share that food with a community, but it's a way easier for someone to try something new that they haven't eaten or haven't eaten since childhood or not sure if they'll like, if they're able to try something from a food truck so that they can try something and the rest of their family can eat something else, or that they can get it as a side or an add-on to something they know they love, but also try something new. And you see that from the opposite side too, right? There are a number of restaurants now that have opened food trucks, and some of what you see at the products on the food trucks might be something that doesn't fit in their restaurant, but they can add it to the truck, or they might want to see if a new product will do well enough to introduce, to get people to go to the restaurant or vice versa. So you see lots of different stories and reasons of how people end up in the industry and what their goals are. And I think that's one of the things that the customers really appreciate too. They feel like they have a really direct connection to the people behind the events and the business.
Well, then also you're on the food truck, you're seeing them right there. Like you can literally look in and see them cooking your meal. It's like if you go to most restaurants, you don't see that's kind of been a thing for a little while that you can see the kitchens, but still, you can just like connect with them a little bit more right there. And it's nice. It sounds pretty cool. Like they can workshop meals. If it's a restaurant that actually has a food truck, they can workshop some meals at this. Like, is this going to work? And it does really well at the food truck. I'll go put it at the brick and mortar place too. Sounds like it's a fun concept for them.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, and what's also fun at this moment now that we've been doing this for over a decade is that we also have trucks that have been with us for the entire 12 seasons. Oh, wow. And we are seeing them and helping them and watching them also make changes, right? Rebranding, new menu items, keeping their brand fresh. We're seeing new people come into the marketplace that are learning from those people that have been doing it for a while, and vice versa. The trucks that have been around for a while are learning from the new people. Mm-hmm. So there are lots of really fun, interesting dynamics. It's very easy for a customer just to come out and eat and drink and listen to music and have a great night, but it's also really cool when we get to talk to customers that are interested in a little bit more of the nuts and bolts and get to share some of all the really intricacies that make what's going on behind the scenes really special too.
One of my favorite things about a food truck event is that if you bring the family, right, and everyone wants something different, because like I have a kid who will only eat grilled cheese, and then we want to have something different, and you go to a food truck event, you can each go to a different truck, and everyone gets what they want, right? It's like a little outdoor food hall. It's perfect. And it sounds like you're rolling out, testing a new kind of pass for that.
We are, yeah. But you just mentioned grilled cheese, and it made me just think of one of the cool little stories. So I'll segue into our new taste tour with kind of the grilled cheese. So, one of the grilled cheese trucks in the scene is Championship Melt, and they've been on the road all 12 seasons with us. And this year, they're doing some really interesting things. First, they're trying to recreate some menu items, and they said that their goal by the time the season starts is to have a pepperoni pizza recreated grilled cheese.
Nice.
Oh my gosh.
Right? So they're always looking at new and fun items. And additionally, that brand has expanded. The owner of Championship's Melt's sister has started a dessert truck called Tag Team Treats.
Oh my gosh.
And they're going to specialize in whipped cheesecake sundaes.
We should have done this at lunchtime.
It's getting me.
This is bad.
This is bad. But it's tag team because they also run the what's the name of the wrestling?
Yeah, so their sister company is Beyond Wrestling.
Beyond Wrestling.
Wow.
And they do now every Monday night at Rhodes on the Patuxent for $10. They do a house show wrestling called Wrestling Open, where for Monday nights, which is one of the quieter nights in the city, right?
Yeah.
On Monday nights, you can go see a wrestling show where the food trucks are parked out front. For $10, you see a family-friendly, no cursing allowed weekly show, and it's kind of the tie into the whole food truck community. But you mentioned the taste tour, right? So one of the things that we hear often at our events, whether we're in Lincoln at Chase Farm or Cumberland at Diamond Hill Park or during the Providence Culinary Collective when we're going to introduce this, is a lot of times customers say, God, this is just overwhelming. There's so many good choices, and we like to eat everything. We wish we had the belly or the time or the money to try everything. So this year what we're introducing is the Taste Tour. It's going to be a special ticket. All of our events are free to attend, but once a month we're going to do a Taste Tour where you can in advance buy a $35 ticket, and that $35 ticket will give you 7 tastings from any truck that you choose. So you can go to,
that's great for the price. That is awesome.
So there'll be smaller sizes, and each truck will offer one item, but every truck will offer a Taste Tour item. And if you buy the Taste Tour ticket, you'll get 7 vouchers that you can use at the event to hand into whichever truck you want to try their Taste Tour item. So it'll give people a chance to eat smaller items from more trucks if they want to chase multiple things.
That's such a good idea, because I feel like right now, right with this like development of charcuterie, right? Like charcuterie used to be a thing, and now it is a massive thing. And so people just want a little nosh, as Aaron Hansen says. And so that's a great way for them to do that. Just a little bite. I just want a little
Well, and it's also great
to
sample it too, because if you go up to a truck, you've never been there before, you've never had anything from there before. Not that they're going to be bad, but it's like, do you like this? It's like, I don't know.
You might not want to commit to the whole sandwich.
Exactly. If you have commitment problems, the pass is great for you.
Right.
This is great for them.
Yeah, so we're gonna offer it once a month throughout the season at a different event. We're gonna launch it during the last weekend in March during the wonderful festival that you guys have put together.
You mentioned it. So let's chat about the Providence Culinary Collective happening at the end of March. But there are 2 events that you're going to be having this. 2 events for this one festival. Let's chat about that. I think it's Saturday, the 28th. Is the first one.
Yeah. So one of the things that's super exciting about that weekend for us is it's really great to kind of get involved and be part of the greater community of all the different amazing food and wine things going on in the city, which is happening all the time. Which has always been one of the things that's amazed me is that the people of Providence and Rhode Island have such an appetite for great food and great experiences that we're able to produce these events on top of all the other great food experiences going on. And what's also really exciting for us is that is our official opening weekend of the season. So we come out that last weekend in March. We kick it off on the 28th with Food Truck Bites. It's in the parking lot right opposite the Vets Memorial Auditorium, right next to the State House. We take over the parking lot. We'll have 10 to 12 food trucks there, depending on the weather. Good Vibes Beverages will be out for the first time of the season. We have great live music planned. People can eat and drink. They can purchase in advance that Taste Tour ticket. And then we also encourage them to use that kind of as the kickoff on Saturday afternoon to decide what other events to go to the rest of the Saturday, what comedy tickets to buy during the Little Roadie Laugh Riot.
That's right.
And that's the opening for us for the season on Saturday afternoon starting at 11:30. And then we roll right into Sunday afternoon, which is one of our most unique and newest events and concepts. It's our Food Truck Drag Brunch that we do in the parking lot outside the Alley Cat and Dark Lady.
Yeah, we had that last year too, and it was a blast. Everybody that I talked to that went to that one had such a fun time. They saw the show. They had great food. The weather might not be amazing this time of year, but it's great that there's the inside part of it too. So you get to go have some food. You can go inside and see a great show. But like I said, everybody that I talked to had a great experience there.
What happens at that one? So the drag queens are inside performing, and then they'll come out and mingle a little bit?
Yeah, so we've wanted to create a family-friendly event of all ages. So again, it's another event that there's no fee to attend. And outside we'll have the food trucks, and we'll have live acoustic music. And then there'll be 2 scheduled inside drag shows. And in between those drag performances, the drag queens have to come out and eat, and because you can't be at a food truck event and not eat. So people are mingling inside and outside. They're coming in and out. And it's just a great afternoon. And as you mentioned, we're truly expecting the end of March to be fabulous weather because weather owes that to us.
Oh, it does.
Right?
And I mean, it's getting nicer out right now. It's getting there.
It is. We're getting there.
Knocking on the wood.
But the nice thing about that event is that even if the weather is questionable, there is the indoor space, which is one of the things that we don't get a lot of. We don't have a lot of events that have an indoor component, but that event, the Food Truck Drag Brunch on Sunday the 29th, does give us an indoor component, which also is really exciting us. We have a couple of new events on the schedule this season. I mentioned earlier Food Truck Friday Newport. That's going to be at a location that has multiple indoor and outdoor locations.
Another clue. Another clue.
Right? So by maybe by the time this podcast airs, we'll make it official.
Yeah.
But you heard it here first.
You heard it here first, absolutely. And
Or
then
the tease of it here.
the tease it here.
The tease, not the full thing.
And we'll tease you. I don't want to just tease. So the other new event that we'll be doing this year that we have announced that we're super excited about will be a Thursday night series in East Greenwich at a location called Fry Farm. It's a farm that's right on South County Trail. It's been owned by the same family for over 200 years, and they want to engage the space more. So we're going to do a Thursday night, once a month series called Fry Farm Food Truck Night.
Perfect.
So that'll be a new series for us this year as well.
That's so great too, to get into another location in Rhode Island. And on that note, it's so cool so you have a family that has this farm, this beautiful space, maybe doesn't have the capacity for a kitchen, and you bring the food trucks in. There you go. There's your answer to food and drink events at a space that's gorgeous. That's awesome.
Yeah, and we think that part of our model solves numbers of things, right? We do know that, unfortunately, there are a lot of Rhode Islanders that don't want to leave their own backyard, and we've
Guilty.
I mean, we can probably get them to do that.
Right.
Yeah,
So we've been fortunate enough to be able to pick multiple locations all throughout Rhode Island that are about 15 miles apart from each other that appeal to people that don't want to travel more than 5 or 10 miles to go to an event. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that there aren't Rhode Islanders that do like to explore and try different things. We really, if you look at the map of where our events are throughout Rhode Island, if you've come to Food Truck Friday and you're a regular and you're looking for something to do on a Saturday, I think about our events just up the road. Chase Farm in Lincoln and Diamond Hill Park in Cumberland are two gems of Rhode Island that if you live in Blackstone Valley or in those areas, you're familiar with. But if you live in downtown Providence, they're 10 minutes away. And if you're coming to visit Providence, pretty much we would like to make sure that all the events we do in Rhode Island may not be further than you drive to go to the supermarket in your hometown.
Yeah.
So true.
And so when you're here for a long weekend, if you want to get out and explore, different parts of Rhode Island, we have events throughout the state that won't take you any more than 30 minutes to get to, that you can really enhance your entire trip on.
It's so true. And back to the Culinary Collective, we say that it is food and wine for everyone, right? So when you look at the lineup of events on that weekend, March 26th to 29th, you might see things stand out like the wine dinners and the vintners dinner, okay? And they are of a certain level of formality, and they're a bigger price tag, but you have family-friendly events like the food truck events. So this is a great option for someone who wants to be part of the fun, but maybe wants to bring their kids and doesn't want to spend over a certain amount of money. And especially with the pass, the tour, that's a great way to be kind of budget-friendly and get a great time, live music, this and that, drag performances. So really looking forward to it. I hope everyone makes it out to those events this week.
Yeah, for sure. When can people start looking at getting the passes for the culinary one? Because I might get my phone out right now. And start.
Right. Yeah. So all of our events that have been announced can be found on our micro website, pvdfoodtruckevents.com/events. Those first two events on the 28th and 29th are right there listed, and there is a link to Eventbrite to purchase the taste tour tickets. But also you can register for any of our events for free, just so we have a sense of how many people are coming. And, just thinking a little bit more about the collective weekend, one of the things that we're also seeing is that our beer and wine partner, which we really now call our beverage partner, Good Vibes Beverages, is really looking at trend lines, and now they're offering 2 or 3 mocktails at every event. Nice. Because we're seeing more young adults and kids that want to share in the adult experience with a mocktail, and we're seeing more and more adults that want to share in the beverage experience without drinking alcohol maybe as frequently or at all. So Good Vibes Beverages, they're branded to bring an energy whether or not there's alcohol involved in their product.
Which is so smart and great to know, especially if you are coming down with the kids, and you don't want to be drinking alcohol, you want to have a mocktail. Or if you happen to be pregnant, which I am not this year. So watch out.
So the official real margarita will be on your menu.
That will be, yes.
Okay.
I'll be looking for a mudslide.
I was gonna say, bigger question is if they can do a mudslide. That's probably.
I mean,
traveling.
listen, if we can make a commitment today and here and now that you'll be at one of those opening events, we might be able to make sure
They will sell at least one mudslide.
That's at least one mudslide.
Well, we're very glad to have you here. Thanks for everything that you've done for the community. Congrats on 12 years now. That's amazing.
It's amazing.
That's great. And hopefully see some people at the food truck events at the Culinary Collective, but throughout the season. Head one more time to website and social.
Best place to go is right to PVD Food Trucks, PVD and our social can be found at the same thing, PVD Food Truck Events.
Awesome.
Well, thank you for being here today.
Thanks so much for having me.
PVD POV is a podcast hosted by the Providence Ward Convention and Visitors Bureau in collaboration with the College of Hospitality Management and Center of Media Production at Johnson & Wales University. Hosts are Alana Cerrone-O'Hare and Nick Millard. Production by Professor Brian Lavin with assistance from the graduate students in tourism management. Episodes are available wherever you download your podcasts. Visit GoProvidence.com for more information on these stories and everything else Providence.